Hey guys, welcome.
Hey there.
So this is about our third full month, going on our fourth month of podcasting, and we thought now would be a good time to kind of go over
See ya.
what's in.
I'm
See ya.
kidding.
We figured now would be a good time to kind of talk about what's involved in podcasting and YouTube and all that stuff for people that want to start out.
And
We're not saying we're big. We're not saying we're
well,
good.
no, I like this because so you get this from people with like millions of subscribers. How I started it out, like,
Yeah.
I'm not denying their hard work, but like, it's kind of easy to say at that point how easy it was or something. Because a lot of people, not that people do that, but some people do. Like, oh, it's so easy. You just gotta keep making stuff and you'll make it big. Like, it doesn't always work that way. So I
mean,
think
it's also not hard, but like when we started this, we kind of like tried to do research, and we never found a video that kind of answered the questions that we had about it.
yeah, like
Guys, remember
everyone
that?
was everyone was like oh, make an AdSense account, buy a camera, but like no one really explained anything.
Yeah, nobody really said what anything meant or what anything was and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So we figured we kind of like this. I mean, this is like extreme basics of what we're gonna cover.
Yeah, just like generalizing, talking to you guys
And
about it.
Our setup's like kind of expensive. Obviously, you could do this with cheaper stuff, but just kind of like a brief kind of overview of that kind
Mhm.
of stuff because I think it would be kind of important. Hopefully, we make it a good title because then it will be able to be searched.
Very true.
But dude, remember some of those videos are horrible, and some of them are like way out of date too.
yeah, it was like
They're
really
like from
old.
like 2008, and everything's completely different
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
when that started. So where do you want to start, Phil?
So before even like you make your channel, definitely think about what obviously you're gonna want to know. I think you're gonna have a good idea of what you want to do already. But also think about what do you have the space to set everything up in? Are you doing something where all you need is your phone even to start off with in your bedroom? Or do you want to do something like a podcast where you have to put microphones in consideration, recording stuff, or software rather, editing software? Or do you want to do a vlog where you might want to take into consideration your audio quality when you're out in the field? Is your life actually that exciting where it's worth, no offense, where it's worth sharing every day for people to watch? Like, there's a lot of different things you want to take into account. But definitely think about how much you want to invest into it. It's perfectly fine just to use your cell phone to start off with, or a basic point and shoot camera to start off with. We needed something a little more advanced because we're shooting longer periods, and most cameras can't handle that, unfortunately.
And Phil wanted to do 4K,
I wanted to do 4K, so I
which
was just
some phones can do, but
I was
still,
just stubborn.
Phil wanted to do 4K. But yeah, come up with like a budget. I mean, honestly, you could start with a zero.
You don't
budget
need a
and just
yeah.
start a phone. But like, if you want to get like kind of involved with it, make sure you come up with a budget and kind of stick to the budget. Phil went a little bit crazy and bought a bunch of stuff.
I don't know what
and
you're talking about.
honestly, as we went along with all of this, it got more and more expensive because you didn't realize what you needed exactly.
Yeah, it took. So I think we started like 2 months after we originally intended to start.
Yeah.
Like, we use a green screen. That was, I mean, it's just a learning curve to figure it out, but that's relatively inexpensive. The lighting's relatively inexpensive, and our lighting's not even that great, but it's
Yeah, it wasn't like less than $100 for
yeah,
lighting.
not
Yeah.
I don't know. I think less than like $60 for the lighting, and we have like 4 lights around us right now. Um,
But the audio is what kind of really hit.
yeah, even like so we do use expensive cameras. You don't need to do that, but the audio was something that we kind of
That
didn't
was the
have
biggest
a
thing.
choice around, and it took me the most trial and error to get right.
Well, because originally we thought we were just going to get a camera and we were going to stick with audio in the camera.
Yeah, we were gonna do like use like one of the external adapters. Like for the Sony cameras, they have the hot shoe adapters, and you could connect
Mics directly
mics,
into it.
XLR microphones directly into it. But that didn't work out very well.
Yeah, what was the issue with that you had?
It would only record
Like single channel or something.
single
like that,
channel,
right? Yeah.
which you could fix in post production. But like we were
But it's not.
headphones.
It's not true stereo though. 'Cause
Yeah.
You would have to basically. It would record on like say right, and then you would just basically mirror.
well, this is technically doing that as well.
Mm.
But it's also we couldn't monitor ourselves because then we only hear it out of one
That's
side.
the issue is too. Yeah.
So that was the issue, and then we're doing longer segmented stuff. So if we go more than half an hour, a regular camera would
Would
cut
shut
out.
off in the middle of it.
So
yeah.
we had to get an external recorder. It's like a lot of different things we didn't take into account.
Yeah, then you spend $1,000 on the external video encoder.
It
recorder.
gets it
And then-
added up.
Then
like
you don't realize we're using what a Sony Alpha. What was it?
we're using the we use the A7S or the A7R. too.
Yeah, which by the way, if you have an HDMI feed out to a monitor, which is what we're using to record
you
in
can't
4K,
do
it
face
doesn't do
detection.
face detection. Which, come on, Sony, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah, news
Some
to
cameras
me.
do, but that was like another thing that we ran into, and then now we're trying to like
Get
mess
the
around
focus
with
right.
the focus and I mean, you see some of the videos. Some of them are go out of focus and
Yeah.
kind of stick like that. But the little things like that you kind of run into, and honestly, before you upload anything, practice,
Yeah.
set up all the equipment, see how it sounds, that
Like
kind of
our
stuff.
first couple podcasts are very cringe.
The audio was horrible, that kind of stuff. And I mean, obviously, you get better as you go. I'm not saying we're anywhere near perfect now, but
Yeah, but you get more comfortable with it. You get more familiar with what you're doing, and you get something going.
yeah. And honestly, you get more comfortable with talking. At
Yeah.
first, like, I don't know. After every word we said, Phil's like, "No, we can't say that. We got to redo it again."
Yeah,
And then
we-
like the first episode took like
It took-
5 hours to record for like a
It took
30
us
second
because
clip.
we wanted to do like the idea behind it was like at least for this kind of segment is to do it all in one take. So obviously it wasn't all in one take, but we uploaded it in one take. We didn't want to do any edits unless like we really have to. I mean, we've had some videos like where like we had the power cut out in the middle of one.
Yeah.
Our hard drive
it
went full
happens.
because we forgot to delete it before. So like stuff has happened where we do have to make edits, but for the most part we try not to as much as possible.
But in the beginning, it was like rough.
It
Like,
was hard
after,
for us
like-
to get that.
After like a minute or minute and a half,
just
we
started
were like,
laughing,
"Ah,
but
crap,
even-
restart."
But I think it's to the point where like if we were recording right now and just started laughing at something, like it would be okay. I'm comfortable
Yeah.
enough where whatever. Just let
That's
it
the
go.
thing. You just get a lot more
You
comfortable.
just get comfortable with it.
I mean, I've been in like customer-facing roles for a long time and that kind of stuff, so I'm
Me
like
too,
decent
so
with
it's-
talking to
mhm.
people. But like doing this whole camera thing and having like a YouTube channel and having your
It's
family
weird
watch
because you're
it,
because you're also
kinda
like
creepy.
it's on the internet, but while we're actually doing this, we're talking to like a wall with a camera like right there, like
Yeah,
it's little-
it's different. But like I said, it's also scary that like other people watch it that you know. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if like random people I don't know watch it, but
I've had people come up to me at work that are like telling me like they watch it and I'm just like mortified of it.
it's creepy. But yeah, so that's I mean that's like step one. You know, figure out what you're using, make sure everything works together. That's another thing, and
Yeah.
then kind of like fix all the bugs that you run into when you start doing that. So that's kind of
Mhm.
like the step. But obviously, before all that, you want to come up with a name. The name took us. I wouldn't say too long. We were trying to just
I mean, we
walk in the
kinda-
mall
yeah,
one day, and
and
we're
we
just like,
like
"How about this?" Yeah,
Like
And-
I think you thought of it first. That word just came to you and we're like,
yeah.
sure.
I just like the word, and then we kept like doing different titles, and then we were trying to see if they existed already, and some of them did exist. So like that's
Yeah.
another thing that you kind of run into. But then setting up an account, which was I think was our we were trying to figure out really like what kind of
Yes.
account we needed
because
right?
there's
That was-
like personal accounts, there's business accounts,
yeah
or I'm sorry, brand accounts or personal accounts. So I think I don't even remember what we ended up going with. No, we went with the personal account. I
yeah we
believe
went with personal. We didn't go with that.
we went with a person, even though like we are trying to build a brand, not just a YouTube channel, but at the same time, like like you get to interact like as a user. Like with a brand account, I think it wanted you to link other things that we didn't have. I don't exactly remember,
Yeah,
but I think we ended up doing a personal account.
and then we shared it with each other.
And then we shared it
We
with
linked
each
it to
other
our
that
other
way
actual
to our
accounts.
actual accounts. That way we could both access it and post upload.
Which is the other thing too is you like if you make an account, do not make it with your personal account with your password and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because if someone gets into that, then they could get into your channel and all that kind of stuff. Make sure
Yeah.
everything's separated. You could still link them, so you have access to it
But-
through them, but just make sure it's separate.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other?
There's an AdSense account, which is how. So if you do YouTube and you monetize your videos, which we'll get into monetization in a little bit, that's through Google. That's how you actually get paid.
and that we had no clue that you had to actually register for, and they only approve so many a year.
They only
right? That
approve.
was-
They only approve so many. They said it was so many a year, and only like you can get denied for it essentially.
yeah.
And like we didn't know, we kind of just fell into that.
And the other thing is like they
Because it says, sorry to cut you off. It
Yeah.
says nowhere on there that that's a thing. It's only when you get the email and you read actual terms of service is that it tells you there's only a certain amount of approvals per year.
Yep.
So be careful with that because I don't think that's advertised anywhere.
And the thing people tell you is to make sure you have a channel up and stuff uploaded before you create that.
Before you
which we
cre-
didn't, and
Yeah.
somehow we got approved, which was lucky. But that was like another thing that we had no clue.
Like we didn't know that.
and that's what we were trying to look into. And
Like we didn't really find anything on it. It was just like if you go into like the terms of service, it's like there in like very fine print, like
yeah,
very vague. It's not very specific. So like that was we were worried about that, but thankfully everything got approved.
yeah, and that took a little bit too.
Yeah.
And then right when we started was right when YouTube kicked off that you needed what was it 10,000 views
You needed 10,000 views
before you could start any type of monetization.
before you could start getting monetization.
And I think we started like 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
So then we got like suckered into it.
because we were able to
'Cause we were so
monetize.
new.
We were able to monetize at the beginning, but then we weren't like 2 weeks in after the first episode or two.
Yeah, so that all the account stuff kind of got a little confusing at first, which is
Yeah.
also why we started 2
Yeah.
months after.
So it was just a lot of like setup. So then we did. We wanted to like advertise because no one's gonna just randomly find us. Kind of like that's not gonna happen.
Which
so
you can do through your own social media.
yeah, you could
There's nothing wrong
advertise.
with that.
You could advertise on your own social media platform. So we.
I just don't
Um,
like subjecting my friends. And
Yeah,
family to
exactly. So I made a completely separate account for the both of us. We made a Twitter account, an Instagram account, a Facebook account. Sometimes I'll boost the posts, which like you paid to get the posts boosted, and it'll reach other people. But I think I only ended up doing that like once or twice.
that. Yeah.
I put like $5 into it. We got us a couple followers on it. My advice is stay up on that. That's something we've been slacking with a little bit. Like
Yeah, because I don't have this stuff logged in my phone.
well,
That's
I have
the annoying part, right? You have the app on your phone. You can only be on one account. Like, of course,
So-
you don't want your personal account on there.
This is what I had to ended up doing, just because it was too annoying to log in and out of each one. So I just went off of. I just got a separate phone and put everything onto this one phone. That way, I have all the accounts on a separate phone,
Which I should probably like do that with my iPad or something.
which it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So like, if I forgot this phone one day and like we were running behind on the video, like yesterday, for example, like I was running behind on the video that should have gone up Saturday, it went up yesterday, which was Sunday. Like I didn't feel like logging out of my personal Twitter account, then log into the other one. Like it just,
They should just make that a thing where you can switch.
yeah, that would
Like
be
Gmail, Gmail
like
has it.
something that would be a lot easier. So there's like social media advertising. You could do it on your own personal pages, as long as you don't care about annoying your friends and family, or they don't find it annoying. Hopefully you have supportive people in your life. That's all fine. It just we didn't want to.
Yeah, it's like one of those
We
things.
just didn't want to
like,
throw it down people's throats.
I've
like,
had those friends that have like started those pyramid schemes and stuff like that,
yeah,
and they've just like harassed people on their social media accounts to the point where they just stop following them, and like you don't want to do that to your friends. And
Yeah, that's why
family.
we just like
You could post a video like, "Hey, my video's up."
yeah, I've
but-
done that a couple times.
You shouldn't go hardcore
Like-
advertising against that.
Like just our personal thought on
Yeah,
that.
it's just how I feel about it, but that's beside
But again,
the
it's up to you how you want to do it.
the other crazy thing too is in the beginning we did obviously advertise through
we did through
YouTube, right?
so through AdWords. That's a whole other thing,
which is a part of Google,
which
yeah.
is also part of Google.
Or Alphabet, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. Which fun part is you don't get monetized when they do that.
Yeah, so
Which we were confused about because we're sitting here watching the numbers and we're like, wait, we
What?
have all these views, but
we're
like,
not getting any money
we're
off
not
of it.
getting anything. Is our account working? Like, what's
Yeah,
going
so
on?
we did the advertising number like first and foremost to get ourselves out there, just so people would we would
Yeah.
reach people and people would watch. Secondly, to try to hit that 10,000 threshold. And while like we're doing this more for the fun of it and like the community, but at the end of the day, like if we make some extra money off of it, that's good as
We
well.
really just want to pay the equipment off. 'cause
Yeah,
that
like-
was a lot of money.
So like that's part of it as well. But again, we're in it for the fun of it. But at the same time, there is the possibility of making money, so we're gonna do that if we can.
yeah,
Especially, like he said, this format is not cheap, so we're trying to kind
just
of
fund it.
yeah.
Get better equipment, that kind of stuff.
so then we could do we could have more guests and better quality. I could put more time into editing to use this thing to better than just stupid backgrounds, whatever I find on the internet that's copyright free. I lost my train of thought.
But yeah, I mean that's just one thing though.
Advertising.
Like you're gonna see that happen, and like we were confused. We really couldn't find an answer after a
Yeah,
while.
that's what it was. So when you advertise through AdWords, like it runs an ad campaign for you or whatever. So we were finding the clicks that people clicked on from the advertisement would not be monetized. There wouldn't be ads running on it, which I guess makes sense. Like if our video would show up as an ad on someone else's video,
Mm.
that would count as a view, but we don't get any money for it because it's already an ad.
Yep.
So it makes sense. It counted as a view, but it really wasn't giving us any engagement because that's just an ad running. No one's actually clicking on it.
Yep.
And it's
And not to mention
getting
too,
us
like
anything.
those. We should probably get more specific into that too. They run for a specific time frame,
Yeah, which you could set.
so it's not like, hey, I want 1,000 views and I want to pay for 1,000 views for advertising. It's I want to run for a day. I want to run for a week.
And
I
it'll
wanna run for
it'll
2
give
days.
you an estimate of how. So you put how long you want to run it for, and how much you're willing. And you can set budgets. You can set it by day or by month,
Mm.
and you put how much you're willing to spend, and it'll give you an estimated views of like how many views they think you'll get. But at the same time,
And it charges you differently per click and per.
yes,
Yeah.
depending on what they're running.
And that could get expensive.
yeah, that's
as-
why it's
as
good
we
that they
saw.
let you set caps, which is
Yeah.
good.
So we set a cap. Be realistic with how much you want to spend on it. Specific words are worth more than other words. Too,
Yeah,
right?
search, because you could put in like search words that'll pull up your stuff and things like that.
Yeah. So that's the stuff you kind of gotta like really research and look into, which
Yeah.
again is kind of like what we were doing.
So I'll use an example. So we did the vlogging parody. So so obviously it was like the title was how to vlog with and satire in parentheses. So we did the advertising on it. Now it's twofold. It advertises it on other people's videos and stuff like that, but also if someone were to type how to vlog, you show up higher on the results.
Yep.
So there was, I think on like the third day of it, if you just literally typed in how to vlog, it was like a video from Casey Neistat, Sarah Dici. There was like one from like iJustine, like Roman Atwood. Like it was like all these big YouTubers. We were like 6th or 7th on the list. So we were like right there on the first page, and that's because we did the advertising. So like if you want to show up on the search results, that's what you have to do. So a lot of people will pay and keep those ads running for 6 months to a year, whatever, because a lot of people will then go back on that video and click it.
Yep.
A lot of people are like, so when people have cooking channels, if they are making a tiramisu, is that how you pronounce it?
Tiramisu.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't even know if that's pronounced
Yeah.
right.
Like if someone types how to make tiramisu, like that person wants their video to be the first one to show up. Like that's the idea behind it as well. So it works twofold.
Yep.
Those clicks you get money for. If someone like searches it and clicks your video,
Yeah.
you get
It's just
money
not if
for
it's
it,
advertised.
but not if it's being advertised on another video.
Yep. Which, to that aspect, something like Facebook and advertising on an actual Facebook page may
Yeah.
be worth it more to you because you may actually get stuff back for
Exactly.
what you're paying. Whereas the AdWords and that kind of stuff, you're more doing it for subscribers.
Yeah.
So, just kind of a thing to keep in mind. Is that we're constantly getting harassed with
Oh my god.
people trying to sell subscribers. Like
They're
oh,
like, and sorry, go ahead.
no good, you good.
You sure?
Yeah.
So, because like I've been dealing with like a lot of these, and I filter out a lot of these. Like I told you about like a couple recent ones, but like there was one for example where, they'll be like, oh, like we guarantee you subscribers. I'm like, well, how can you guarantee subscribers? And they're like, oh, we do it through advertising. So we're like, okay. So like I start looking into it, like not really thinking. I'm just like looking through what they have, and it's like. So I started looking into like reviews of people that actually use it, and it's all like robots or fake accounts.
Mhm.
Like usually that's not really.
It's what you don't want.
You don't want to. You want
subscribers.
active people. Like great, you have 1 million subscribers, but like if you get like 1,000 views of video, like what's
Yeah, I mean, if you get actual people that like your stuff, they will recommend it to their friends, their family,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and you kind of build up from there. If you get a robot, all
They're
you
not-
have is a robot.
Yeah, you just have that number. So
You've got nothing.
there's a lot of like and a lot of big YouTubers have made like a lot of videos about this. There's YouTubers with like 5-6 million subscribers. Only 10% of their views are coming from their subscribers, because most of them are, subscribed to them when they were 10 years old and don't care about them anymore, or they're robots.
Yep.
And you see it in their views. They'll have like 1 million subscribers, but someone that has 10,000 subscribers gets more views than them.
Yep.
Like you start to notice those things. And the other thing too is with like networks reaching out, like we don't have like a big following right now, and even so we get offers from networks. They're like, we'll get you huge, we'll make you you'll do one video with us a month or whatever, but we want 30% of everything you make. So my thought process is like, cool, so we're gonna do one video with you. You don't want 30% of just that, you want 30% of everything we make that you have nothing to do with.
Yep.
Like, yes, you help us get a following, but then after that you still want the money we're making with our own content? Like, absolutely not.
It's a business.
But it's not smart, because then if we accept that offer, we're tied to a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
Which, if you're gonna do that, which I don't recommend at the beginning, like if you
Well, don't they also
You-
buy your channel out too? Like you.
A lot of
you
people
have
do
no
that as
access to
well.
it. Yeah.
you give up the rights to control, but but not all of them are like that. Like you sign a contract with them for 2 years, it's still your channel, but they dictate what you can and can't put up.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do that, like I would never sign anything longer than a year, and I wouldn't do anything where they like own your channel.
It's not you anymore.
Yeah, it's not. You're just a puppet at that point.
Yeah, I mean, so there's that kind of stuff. Totally slipping my head what else I was going to say.
I was about to say something too, and I can't remember.
Don't remember. Oh, advertisers. Bleh. Advertisers.
What
I
about
said
them?
the same word multiple times. There's also people out there that will pay to sponsor certain channels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from $50 to $500, right? An advertisement per video that you put up and that kind of stuff.
That's specifically for like podcasts, though.
Yeah, no, they sponsor other videos too. Like if you look at like Linus Tech reviews and stuff like that, every single review
they will.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He has a sponsor too.
Yeah, but that's usually directly from the company.
Yeah, no, but he works with certain ones too. But there's other opportunities like that there
Yeah.
too. Merchandise, all that kind of stuff. I don't think we're not doing merch anytime soon.
No. Well, no, that's what I mean. There'll
Yeah,
be
I don't
like,
think it
well, some YouTubers will have like managers that handle all that for them,
was- Yeah.
and that's where they get the stuff from. But usually, like a lot of like tech YouTubers, for example, at least to my knowledge, they'll like, let's say they're being sponsored by, why am I blanking on like
You just want to come up with a name here?
Audible, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like usually the company will reach out to them directly and be like, we want to sponsor you. Whereas there's certain formats, like the format we do, there's a company called Midroll, and we work directly with them, and their job is to get sponsorships from like the assortment that they have contracts with.
Which we
And-
don't work for,
Yeah, we no.
even though you just said we work for.
With that we no, not us. I mean
I'm just
in
making it
general.
clear. Yeah, we don't work for them. but
Yeah,
There's companies like that out there.
and they get you the sponsorships, and they have you, and they line up the sponsors for each episode, and you can make money that way. Like I've seen channels with less views than ours, and they have sponsorships through Midroll. They're just looking for consistency. So like this person had like 60 episodes with like 2 views an episode, and
They were sponsored.
they were sponsored
Yep.
because what did he do? He posted every week like he said he would. He was like active on social media. Whatever engagement he did get, he was active with, things like that.
Yep, and that's what they
Be
look for.
involved with your audience. They just want to know that you're not just like, I'm going to make a YouTube channel today, do it for 2 weeks, and then say this isn't for me. Because why would they put their money into you if that's the case?
Yep.
If they see that you're serious about it and you're willing to do it and you're going to continue to do it, then you'll start getting that. And that'll in itself help you grow your audience. Because I have to find that channel, but I remember I checked like maybe 2-3 weeks ago. His subscribers were in like the mid hundreds now, which is better than like the 10 that he had before.
Yeah. I mean, unless that was just like a secondary channel of his. I don't know, but that was kind of insane.
Yeah, I sent you that link, right?
Yeah, I was looking at that. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. Obviously, like Phil was saying before, if you're gonna do something, make sure you have something at least once a week on, and make sure you set the days.
Yeah, it's
That kind of thing.
it's usually good to keep like a more like a kind of consistent schedule. Like it's harder, like if you're by yourself, that's easier. Even though like we're 2
Yeah.
people, we can split the workload, but
Scheduling is the issue.
scheduling becomes the issue when it's more than just yourself. So if it's just you could control your time a
Yeah.
little better because
And
you could work around your own schedule.
Not to mention, if it's 2 people, we can't share the editing workload because he has all the data at his house.
Yeah.
Like, we have no type of. I mean, I'm sure you could upload to a server and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but,
That's
like,
gonna be
that's
slow
even-
as hell.
Even like especially these files. So like if
Yeah.
you're like so not even if you're recording in 4K, it's usually not that bad. So remember that how we it was like 5-6 seconds of information last week where we like stopped the recording because we weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
Like those 6 seconds or whatever it was, maybe 10 seconds, it was 1.2 gigabytes.
Yep.
Like it's insane. Only because of it's not just 4K, but if you're recording in ProRes, and we've talked about that before,
It's
like
huge.
it adds up quick. So like think about that as well.
Plus, it's uncompressed audio too
Yeah.
with what you're using. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's actually harder with 2 people.
Like
Come to
if-
think of it, because everything's separate, and you kind of. I mean, honestly, Phil does all of it. I come here, record, and help out that kind of stuff, set up the camera, but he does all the
Like-
editing and uploading and that kind of stuff.
I mean, you don't really have to do much. It's just like you have to just babysit it.
Which, on a side note, make sure you have a good internet connection. If you're running DSL, don't go on YouTube.
Yeah, it's gonna
Because your
take forever.
upload is just gonna take forever.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why I seem to have this problem. So like, I use Final Cut Pro when I'm editing, when I upload it directly from Final Cut Pro, it'll take maybe like 30 minutes to upload, like, one of these, like, not that long. It takes forever to render, even though, like, ProRes will let you edit before it's rendered, and then it renders. That takes forever, but the upload, it takes 30 minutes, maybe an hour. When you do it directly through YouTube, it takes like 3, 4, 5 hours
Makes
sometimes.
sense.
Like, I don't really get that,
Because you're using an API through Final Cut.
I guess.
But
Yeah, so upload through Final Cut if you can.
yeah, upload through Final Cut.
Or
Actually, I
whatever,
never-
or Premiere, whatever editing
That's true, 'cause
software
even
you use.
the drone videos I make are 4K, but they're not as large because it's not
Just regular
uncompressed
4K.
stuff that we're using. Literally a 4-minute video will take almost an hour directly through the browser. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just how it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But these are all things to kind of look out for. Also, like, figure out what kind of channel you want to have. Honestly, like I said in the beginning, this style used to take us maybe 4 to 5 hours to get one episode. That's like a half hour.
And now it's literally like what you see. Like we come in, it's like, what are we doing today? We like think of something for like 10 minutes, then we record it.
And that's if we don't already have it. Like sometimes we'll
Something.
just in the middle of the week be like, oh yeah, let's talk about this next week. But we come in, we set up, we pop our hard drives in, turn our cameras on, and we honestly just start talking. It's a lot easier. This is kind of like why we did this too. It's just a lot less time consuming.
Yeah.
We want to get into more stuff. We want to get into reviews and that kind of thing.
Reviews, like
It's
I've
just we got to figure that out.
yeah, like we want to do like more creative stuff as well, which is like originally what we really wanted to do. I mean,
Yeah, and we'll get there.
like this is cool, but like you don't necessarily need any creativity here other than
just talking. It's just a
talking.
conversation.
Like it's really not like we wanted to do a podcast, but we wanted this to be supplement to what we were already doing. Unfortunately, which it will be. But unfortunately, it's just been hard with our schedules.
Yeah.
So like my work schedule just completely 360'd now, so like it's gonna be even more difficult to get it done. But
and I work overnight, so
yeah.
I'm usually when he's actually up and awake is usually when I'm sleeping.
When you're sleeping.
So it's a little bit rough with that kind of stuff.
So-
but, we'll figure it out. We're also trying to get like some guests in for other like interviews and stuff like that, which we're trying to set up.
Like we have people willing to do it. It's just like we're just like, oh, we don't know what date because we don't even know what date.
Yeah.
Like we decided yesterday. We were like, oh, we're gonna record tomorrow. It's like, oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, cool, it's tomorrow.
yeah, it's kind of how it works out.
Like
but,
it's kind of on the fly. Which if you're gonna be doing this by yourself, I recommend you pre-record. It's hard for us to do it here because the files are so large. Like
yeah, it's the biggest issue.
the hard drive we record onto is only 500 gigabytes because we thought that would be enough at the beginning.
It's good for one episode.
Yeah, and you can't really. It's hard to stack. I mean, I could transfer them to external hard drives.
You seem
and
to
stuff,
get
but
you
that's
seem to get multiple drives, but then expense.
yeah. Again, more expense that you don't think of right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
So that kind of stuff. The reviews and stuff, like I said, we want to get into, but we want to make sure it's interesting. We don't want to just have
Just
like
have a review that
single
you
camera angle, like
Yeah,
we want to have
and-
a lot of B-roll and a lot of different angles.
and like cool, we'll post a review of something that 5 million other YouTubers already posted reviews on, covering the same exact things. Like that's why I want to like try to do a little more
and find
something
our,
a little
find
more
our niche
creative.
with
Yeah.
the reviews.
I also really like. I've tried recording a couple like Overwatch videos and stuff like that. It was fun, but like I think I talked about it before. Like the mic I have in my room like picks up everything,
Yeah.
so the AC blaring just doesn't really work out.
And yeah,
But-
a couple of our friends said they'd help us out with some of those videos too. But
Yeah.
then,
We have some cool ideas.
yeah.
How do we get on that tangent?
I'm just saying.
No, I
Pick
know.
what
but
you're gonna focus on. Kind of
we
go.
were
with
talking.
that.
Oh, upload schedule is what we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, that was way before.
Yeah, that's why don't think we ever closed it out.
Oh.
Just keep like if you're by yourself, try to keep a consistent schedule. That's all.
No,
Like
that
upload
was it.
schedule.
I thought you closed it. But yeah, I mean that's kind of
It's kinda
majority of
good.
what I have. If you have any questions or anything, and again, we're not experts or anything. We started obviously 3 or 4 months ago, but write it below. We'll answer it.
Yeah, we'll do
Try
the
to
best we
find
can
it.
to answer, like especially like anything from how to set up the accounts, because that was kind of not existent on like people tell you how to like you have set up an AdSense account and an AdWords account, but, like no one really tells you how. Especially the AdWords account was very tricky. Like
Do you want to set links below with all the accounts that you
yeah.
need to sign up for?
we'll do that below in the description. The AdWords, my biggest recommendation is don't go to like adwords.com and try to like do it through there, or adwords.google.com, whatever it is. On your like when you have your video library, there's like an option on the video and you click promote. That'll take you to
The direct sign up page.
the direct sign up page, and then once you do have the account, it'll link it to your account, and it'll be right there, and you can run the ad campaigns. Because for whatever
because
reason,
AdWords is not just for YouTube.
Yeah, it's
AdWords
for, like,
is if you have
everything.
your own website, you could also integrate that and have it actual physical Google search.
it brings you
direct
like
to
right to like where it's
Yeah.
going to be for
So
YouTube.
that makes sense.
Because I did it the other way around, and like I was
Got pretty
confused.
confused.
My ads kept getting denied, like I didn't understand what was going on. So like use the promote option on there. It works better on like, so I have Safari on my Mac. For whatever reason, it worked better on Chrome than Safari. Like on Safari, it would end up linking you to the regular page anyway.
Hmm.
If I did it through Chrome, it went, obviously it's all Google, it works better. If I did it through Chrome, it just went right to the right page, and I was able to run the ad on it.
Cool.
Um,
But yeah, we'll try to put those links on the bottom so
Yeah.
it'll be easier. But
And if you have any questions about like audio or anything like other, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone can figure out a camera and uploading a video. But like if you have questions about audio, like we have this setup for the podcast, like wireless mics, anything like that, let us know as well, because I've become pretty versed through trial and error, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of frustration on audio in general. So I'm happy to help if you have any questions on that. And on that topic, YouTuber Curtis Judd, shout out to him, because I kept bugging him by commenting on all his videos. Is this gonna work if I do this? And like always would answer every time. And like between him, like other people that I kind of watched on the internet, like research I did on my own, I'm pretty sure I'm kind of well versed on it by now. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
cool.
You have anything else?
My only thing is if you're a company and you want your stuff reviewed, feel
We
free to
got
send it
you.
to us for reviews, because that's kind of another thing that we're kind of looking for, because it's kind of rough to be out there buying all the stuff that you need to review.
Yeah.
It gets kind of expensive. So if you know anybody, I mean anything right now, just for us to start out with that kind of
Just
stuff,
get some like experience and practice.
send it over. We'll do as best as we could for a review, just to kind of
Like experiment with like different angles, and
Yeah.
because like we have the two cameras we could use, like it'll be some good stuff.
Honestly, that's like why I wanted to start at YouTube.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get a bunch of like technology samples and stuff to mess around with, because that's what I'm into.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I said, questions right below. We'll try to get back to you. Thanks for our 2 subscribers that comment all the time.
Appreciated.
Shout out to you guys. Every single day I look and I'm like, hey, we got one,
It's like another one.
and it's not
Which
your
actually,
cousin.
I know. There's like it's like weird because it'll tell you have a comment and then you go in and it's like gone.
It's not there. It's not like it ever
So like
removed it or
it's
whatever.
like yeah, but it happens like almost every video.
Eh.
And it'll like show their name, like I'll get the notification, but then I go into the app and there's nothing there. Like the apps are kind of glitchy sometimes. You'll get used
Unless
to that.
maybe they clicked on the comment thing and then like backed out or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I guess that about
That
wraps
wraps it
up
up,
this
right?
episode.
Alrighty, we'll see you next week.
Yep. See you.